Further debates, I recognize the member for Newmarket, Aurora.
Thank you, Speaker, and I am honoured to have the opportunity today to speak to the member of Eglinton Lawrence's private member's motion, Framework for Chronic Diseases. I have to agree with the member, and I'm very supportive of her helping to seize the opportunity, because I do believe she's absolutely correct. It's vital that we do this now and that we get it right. And in addition to that, the accountability that this framework will bring our system is huge. What we want is to ensure that we can table that progress, as the member from Eglinton Lawrence has noted. And we are in a position now that our healthcare system has been reorganized, so it is the perfect timing. So thank you to the member, and do know, obviously, I'm supporting you and want to help seize this opportunity. That being said, the motion would set the framework that would allow all Ontarians to have access to quality care for chronic diseases across our province. By creating a provincial framework for chronic disease management, we can improve chronic disease care, addressing prevention, management, and treatment through a coordinated approach. While there are many chronic diseases, some of the more common ones could affect your brain, such as mental illnesses, your lungs through chronic respiratory diseases, your body cells through various cancers, or your pancreas through diabetes. Oftentimes, chronic diseases are connected, leaving the patient vulnerable to several chronic diseases due to their poor state of overall health. Although eating healthy foods, being physically active, as the member from Nickel Belt mentioned, avoiding alcohol and tobacco while managing stress effectively will drastically reduce one's chances of falling ill to chronic disease. However, we also have to take into consideration family history, your access to healthy food, adverse childhood experiences, as well as where you work and live, also have a significant impact on whether one will develop a chronic disease. Our Indigenous population experiences chronic disease drastically different than other Ontarians. Factors such as their history, geographic location, culture, and past experiences intersect and lead to higher rates of diabetes, chronic kidney disease, cardiovascular disease, chronic respiratory diseases, cancer, obesity, as well as mental illness. Our government is working collaboratively with Indigenous partners and communities to co-develop programs that will improve access to safe and effective health services. To best serve the Indigenous population, these programs and services must be designed, delivered, and evaluated in collaboration with Indigenous partners to effectively meet the needs of Indigenous peoples, communities, and families. We've invested over $41 million in Indigenous organizations and communities to support culturally safe mental health and wellness services to Indigenous youth, children, families, and communities in Ontario. Our government has made clear that we will do everything we can to protect our most vulnerable, which includes Ontario's Indigenous populations. Through the Roadmap to Wellness, our government has pledged to make supporting the mental health and well-being of all Ontarians a key priority. Since 2019, we have invested $525 million in new annualized funding for mental health and addiction services. This includes funding for addiction treatment services and supports, as well as youth wellness hubs that are delivering developmentally appropriate care to youth aged 12 to 25 experiencing substance use issues. The COVID-19 pandemic had a very considerable impact on the overall health and well-being of all of us. Even if you did not fall ill to COVID, the long-term effects of the stress and isolation during the pandemic have negatively affected our mental health. As a way to deal with this stress, substance abuse numbers have significantly increased. Our government recognized the pandemic's impact on substance use and announced the Addictions Recovery Fund, an additional one-time investment of $90 million over 3 years that is adding more detox spaces, more treatment beds, and 8 new youth wellness hubs. Every year, our government invests nearly $300 million in addiction treatment services and supports delivered across over 200 not-for-profit agencies. Speaker, I was going to talk a bit about the diabetes, but since my member from Kitchener-Conestoga did that, I'm going to go straight to chronic diseases affecting all Ontarians living in every part of our province. By developing a standardized chronic disease framework which prioritizes prevention, management, and treatment, we can take a new approach to chronic diseases. This will ensure that all Ontarians receive the same world-class treatment that our province can offer. Thank you, Speaker.